Now I have hit the record button. We can finally start recording. So, yeah, by the way, maybe some colorful language ahead. Yeah, good morning. Hi, I'm Zio. This over here is my good pal,
D-pad Chad.
who isn't sure if he's introducing himself or if I'm actually going to say his name. Because I
Yeah,
thought
I
about it
was
for a
kind of
second.
wondering. I was like,
So, I'm not sure how this video is going to actually start out because banter and all this other stuff. But anyway, point is, good morning. We're talking about Halo Infinite. So if you are interested in Halo Infinite and what we have to say, go ahead and feel free to listen. All that good stuff, because we have really, really bad things to say. And as well as other stuff, right? We're not going to sit here and dog Halo Infinite. However, we do have a bone to pick with 343 and
then why'd you
what they're
invite
doing.
me?
We do have a bone to pick there. We have opinions. We have things that we want to talk about, as well as other stuff. Not even sure what to title this. Something about consumers should stop buying broken fucking products. But yeah, anyway, would you like to lead us off?
What the fuck? How about that? Okay? I've been playing Halo since 1, and I don't mean the Master Chief Collection, I mean original Xbox. You know what I've noticed? Let's take 1 step forward and 5 steps back. Okay? Let's add 1 new thing and take away 3 old things from every single game. And this isn't just 343. This is from every single fucking incarnation of every goddamn Halo. I am sick of it. And by the way, this isn't just a Halo thing. This is every game, every new game that's come out. So this isn't just from Halo. But my God, Halo has jumped on that bandwagon and made it their fucking home.
All right, so before we continue, probably should do a little bit more explaining of what has spawned this video. Why are we even talking about this? So, never mind our quick jumbled thing here. I don't have a thing to actually show you my screen with me this time. But apparently, Halo Infinite is going to launch, whether it's ready to or not. Apparently, they have decided to make the tough decision to cut campaign co-op and Forge and to bring them in months later. And why are we doing this? It's pandemic related, right?
Oh no.
Or something.
If I can go to work every day, and I don't mean work from home developing a video game, I mean get in my car and drive down the street, drive across town to go to work. They sure as hell can develop a game from home and mail in the files for somebody to put together. That is a bullshit argument that developers have been doing since the beginning of this pandemic. Now I'm sick of hearing it because I know it's a lie. You know how I know it's a lie? Because one man on a dare made a video game and he had no prior experience. Muck. No prior experience. He was a YouTuber. Somebody was like, oh, well, you don't know anything about video games. You're just a YouTuber. He's like, good point. Let me make a video game to prove this guy in my comments wrong. And he did. And he's not even selling it. He just did it literally on a dare. And he did it. Don't use that excuse. That's bullcrap.
Well, to be fair, Halo is a much different thing than something like that.
True.
When it comes down to it, but you know, I get the idea, right? Pandemic, we want to stay away. We're working remotely, right? Especially these people. They're going to be working remotely. Got that. Then, you can't be right there in the office and go to Gene or whoever and go, hey, I've got this thing. I need you to do concept art for it. and do it that way or whatnot. You've got to email them, talk them, Zoom them, that sort of thing. So it's a little bit of a different thing, which I got, and then having to connect to the servers and send the files back and forth might take some time. I understand all that. However, let's not release a game before it's ready.
Yep.
Example one, CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk 2077. Most recent example, right? Not ready, and they kept pushing it back, giving hard deadlines. Should never have done that. One, they should never have given hard deadlines and said, look, we're nowhere near ready. We can't do this. We're pushing this back. We'll get back to you when we're in a state that we can actually maybe possibly launch. But instead, it was deadline after deadline after deadline, and each one got passed. Everybody got really, really frustrated. People were, saying, just drop the game and all this other stuff. They were saying we shouldn't. Then the investors were like, drop the game. And then they did. And, well, we know where that went, right?
Now here's the crazy thing. I don't think they should drop the game, and I don't think they should even delay it. But what I think they should do is delay the campaign, as far as because what I think they should come out with multiplayer, because that's the free to play thing, right? Go ahead and go out with it, do your testing, do your flights for the multiplayer. If everything's cool, be like, we're coming out with multiplayer as scheduled, but campaign is going to be delayed.
Because this is where I disagree. I say they delayed the whole thing. If you're not launching it as a complete product, don't launch it. That's my thought.
Well, the thing is, you're not paying for multiplayer as is. That's free. It's a separate service.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really going to come out free? Because I don't know that.
Yeah.
I know that with the Xbox Pass and stuff, it was going to hit that. So technically it's kind of free. But
no, the Xbox Pass, I believe you get the campaign free.
Mm-hmm.
But
you pay for the service, but great service by the way.
Free. Yeah, I hear really good things about the Game Pass. Now, by the way, I came out spitting fire, but this is where I got to give credit. I actually like the idea of the multiplayer being a free-to-play idea, like that whole, how the Master Chief Collection is, where you have the one-time payment, it's an ongoing seasonal thing. I like that idea. I like that mentality. I like that. I like that energy. But I do not like the transparency. They hid. They didn't talk about Forge. They didn't talk about the custom game settings. Still haven't, by the way. And the whole time, Zio, you can attest to this. What did I say? Cautious optimism, because I haven't heard about Forge. I haven't heard about the custom game settings.
You've been saying that for months, actually. And
yes,
I'm like,
I have.
Don't talk about it. I'm trying to avoid most of Halo Infinite stuff because I don't want to be spoiled. But this, you can't avoid this, right?
Yeah, and I was like, why haven't they talked about what game types are going to be in it? Oh, that's right, because every single Halo, they take more and more game types away until we're only going to have Slayer, one kind of CTF, and big team battle.
We'll probably have SWAT BRs only, and that's about my.
Probably because somebody's going to get offended that BRs are overpowered, or no, auto rifles this time are overpowered.
But yeah, I mean, I still stand. They shouldn't launch it at all, to be honest.
But
when it comes down to it, Halo, apparently, they're not going to be launching with the campaign co-op and Forge. Forge, hasn't been there since the beginning, but campaign co-op has been, right? That is like a staple to Halo.
Yeah.
Sitting on the couch with somebody, going through the campaign and doing it together, or even if it's in two separate locations with two different Xboxes, that sort of thing, whatever, because couch co-op is practically dead these days. But, you know, just still the idea of co-op, yeah, that's a mainstay. That is a staple of the series, in my opinion.
Well, that's what
along
got
with the multiplayer, of course. You know, and you know, the fact that they're like, well, we've got this plan. We're going to bring it out in season 2, which is 3 months after it launches, providing it's at the beginning of it, not at the end of it. And then Forge is slated to come in season 3, which is about 6 to 9 months later, right? And, you know, I have this problem with Call of Duty, for fuck's sake. EA does this shit to us all the goddamn time. 343, you should be better than them. Just saying. You know, if you're not going to launch your game fully functional and all together, don't fucking launch it.
And that's actually what I was going to say. I actually deleted a tweet I typed out, was like, if you're going to launch with all this stuff, what makes you any different than Call of Duty or Battlefield? You're the same game with a sci-fi finish, because it's just...
And shields are a thing. The other ones don't.
Yeah. I
mean, since they added Sprint in, which I do like, by the way, I'm not knocking it or anything. You know, I like Sprint, and ever since I played it with Sprint, going to the older versions throw me off because I can't. You know,
I kept
all it is Call of Duty with
running.
shields. You can take more bullets, and that's it. At that point.
So the thing is, like, with Forge, this kind of hit me. They were like, this isn't a intricate part of the game. Like, I'm paraphrasing. They actually said something specific. I'm like, oh yeah, because there hasn't been websites, forums, an entire community built just around Forge and custom game types. But yeah, that's not an important part of your game.
Yeah, now I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know the history of Forge. I mean, maybe they did this with 5. I skipped 5. I don't know anything about 5, to be totally honest. After 4 was done, as far as I'm concerned, Halo itself is done after the 4th game. There is no Halo after that. But then I found out there was a 5. You know, but since Forge's inception, as far as I'm aware, Forge has always been there. It's been there with the launch of everything. You know, it came out when the rest of the game is. You can go mess around in Forge, build custom games, custom maps, have a lot of good time. You know, I enjoy Forge a lot, so to not see it for 6 fucking months, or maybe 9 months, depending on when it comes out, is a real crawl that, you know, it's words that I can't think of. But especially for anyone who pays full price for this game, expecting this shit, because, let's face it, not everybody is going to see the articles that say this.
Yeah, and here's the thing. These things made you Halo. Without these things, you're just another FPS that I'm frankly just going to skip, because I'm not a fan of first-person shooters, but I was a fan of Halo.
Well, let's be fair. Bungie made Halo. And I think it was Marathon Runner before that. So
yeah, it was Marathon. It was Marathon, then Halo.
And then they did Halo based off of that. So technically, Bungie is what created Halo, and 343 has ridden on its coattails, trying to advance the story from there. Which is why, you know, I say after 4, I think it was kind of done, because they kind of wrapped it all up in a bow as far as I was concerned, minus, you know, the flood or whatever. Still being a thing out there that I don't think we've ever had a resolution to, unless it was in a book that nobody, well, I guess the most dedicated of the dedicated would know, but normal people wouldn't. But, you know, when it comes down to it, you're shipping a game, right? They're looking at this as Halo Infinite. They've heard amazing things about Halo Infinite. They saw the E3 thing, or games, whatever, whichever convention it was that showed it, the Microsoft one, that's what it was. You know, they saw that. That's all they know, right? They're not going to see, you know, Kotaku talk about Halo axing its co-ops campaign for 3 months. No, you've got consumers out there who are going to go buy this game. They're going to pay 60 fucking bucks for it, or 65 if you live here, because we have a 10% tax rate. And, you know, they're going to get it. Their friends are going to get it. they're all going to get together, immediately go home, go to log in, and like, let's hit the campaign running, right? To find no fucking campaign to run. I mean, they'll find a campaign, but not co-op. They'd be like, why can't I log in? Why can't we join each other? Why is it just multiplayer, but no co-op, you know, for the campaign? Why can't we do that? And that leads to a very, very bad practice that I really, really hate, because you've got an unfinished title here that the masses don't know is unfinished until they've done bought your shit.
And here's the here's the kicker. Sorry.
Okay.
Steam's return policy. How many returns are they going to get? A lot.
Is it even going to be on Steam at launch? I know the Master Chief Collection is.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's supposed to be on Steam, I believe. It's going to be on PC, so I'm assuming Steam. And
you keep talking.
It's going to be on Steam. It's they're going to have so many angry consumers that are just going to just nuke this thing from orbit on every social media, going, where's all this stuff at? And yeah, the fanboys are going to be like, oh, don't you know? And I'm like, of course they're not going to know. They, like Zio was saying, they don't read the Kotaku articles. Nobody reads Kotaku articles because Kotaku's... Anyway, that's personal opinion. But it's right. Kotaku's kind of garbage. But that's, again, personal opinion, but it's right. Nobody reads these guys in the normie sphere, and the fanboys will be like, oh, don't you know all this stuff? Of course they don't. And they're going, but the regular people, the regular consumer does have social media, and they're going to nuke this from orbit. And then their friends who are casual gamers are going to read their friends who were thinking about buying this and go, oh, it doesn't have everything that makes Halo Halo. I'm going to stay away from it. And it's going to sabotage the game right out the gate. You have one chance to make a first impression, and it's Halo 5 all over again, where people are going to go, oh, Christ.
Yeah, I feel like I need to know what actually happened for Halo 5.
Basically, terrible story. Nobody really liked it. Obnoxious characters. Forge was actually great from what I heard. I actually skipped 5 too. I actually had to watch a lot of gameplay and stuff to get a feel for what was going on.
Well, to be totally honest, I don't think I even knew that 5 existed until the Krillcast mentioned it at some point.
I didn't either, actually.
And I was like, wait, there was a Halo 5? I thought 4 was the last one we had. That's how far out of the loop I am. But anyway, you know, the problem is that people, especially people in the creator space, people who are on the YouTubes, on the Twitters, the TikToks, and all this other stuff, they tend to forget one fundamental thing, because I've noticed a lot of them do, right? Because when I was talking about the Blizzard things recently and diving into this, that, and the other, people just seem to assume that everybody osmoses everything that they know for some odd reason, and don't realize the normal peoples don't know that. Unless you're like in the clique, in the ground, in that community, you don't know a lot of this stuff until it's too late. You know, that was like my biggest argument with the whole Cosby sweep thing right there, because, you know, I left a comment on somebody's thing going, look, I just did a thing about this. You know, most people did not know in 2013 that Cosby was a rapist or anything like that, right? And, you know, they know now that that's common knowledge that he's an alleged, you know, whatever. But in 2013, no, people did not. You know, Facebook didn't exist until 2005. You know, Twitter didn't exist until like 2006. Or maybe it's YouTube and then Facebook, then it was Twitter, and in 2007, I think is what it was. So like YouTube 2005. Anyway, doesn't matter. I outlaid it in that video. But, you know, these social media platforms didn't exist to the capacity they do now. Right now, something happens, everybody knows about it on those platforms. But then again, you also have to remember, not everybody's on those platforms, right? You know, there's a lot of people, they may listen and watch things on YouTube, but they may not be watching Halo-centric creators or anything. Their audience may be a lot smaller than, you know, and have a lot less views going down than, you know, the newest B. Cardi album. Give me an artist. I don't care. Eminem, somebody, you know, who's got like 50 million views on one video, because that's what a lot of people use things like YouTube for, is, you know, normal people, they use it to listen to music. They look at funny videos like cats and dogs and stuff. That's still a thing that people mostly do it with. And, you know, something else that may cater to their interests, but they're not actively looking this stuff out. And, you know, the only way to really combat this, of course, is to not buy the damn product. That's where I keep wanting to go to, and I keep forgetting. But, seriously, you know, this isn't the first game that has ever done anything like this. I mentioned COD earlier because I'm pretty sure it was a COD, a Call of Duty game that came out, and it had one mode to it. It was like some just one thing to it, or maybe it was two, I don't remember, but it had promised all these other things, like this battle royale thing and the zombies and everything else and stuff. And I don't really know what all's going on with COD, but it promised all these different features and all these different modes. Didn't come out with one of them, you know, at launch, and people were highly upset about it because they rushed out, bought the game day one, to find out it was missing over 50% of its content. But the developers, you know, Activision and everything, promised them, we'll get it to you in the next year. We'll have it all out, and had a roadmap. And if I remember correctly, one of those modes came out, or was supposed to be slated to come out. I don't know if it actually did or not, because I didn't keep up with it. But when I was talking about it, according to the roadmap, one of the things were supposed to come out like 3 months before the year mark for the game. And COD is generally a yearly release title. So, you know, by the time it comes out, they're probably talking about the next COD at this point.
Yeah, see, and this is the reason I'm.
And that's a problem. Why don't I trust this?
Yeah, this is the reason I'm into indie games, because it's an all or nothing game. In the indie sphere, you either come out with your game, or you don't really make money. Rarely do people in the indie sphere. Now, you got the early access stuff, but most people look at that and go, you could tell pretty early on, it might, maybe not, but usually you're not paying hardly anything. And the reason I bring that up is because these AAA studios are trying to get the best of both worlds. We're going to charge you $60 for early access quality. What are you smoking?
Yeah, and, you know, it's going to keep continuing, right? Like, this kind of shit is going to keep continuing, and it's going to keep going. You know, the next Halo game is going to have just the campaign to it, or just the multiplayer, because, you know, they've got a deadline that is set by, you know, the forces that be, and the investors, and all this other stuff, because they know one thing. They're going to release it at full price. Everybody's still going to buy it. They're going to complain about it. They may review bomb the damn thing. They may have forums out there. They may make videos criticizing it and yelling at it and saying how badly it sucks. However, the studio done has your money. They have your time, because not only are you complaining about it, but you're fucking logging into the damn thing every fucking day to keep playing it. And it does absolutely nothing, because you keep consuming the damn product. If you stop buying, they may shape up and actually give us a product that is complete for a change. Minor, you know, aside from some minor bugs here and there or something that they just didn't catch. But, you know, Activision's going to keep doing it. 343 will keep doing it. Ubisoft will keep doing it.
EA was the
Blizzard is
pioneer
going
of
to
it.
keep fucking doing it. Everyone is going to keep doing that shit. They're going to drop day one DLC. They're going to drop day one passes because as consumers, we keep pre-ordering the shit. We keep buying the shit day one. We don't, wait. And we need to do that. We need to stop purchasing shit like this and tell them this is unacceptable. And even if you want to use the pandemic as the excuse, because that is the excuse of the year right now, push it back. It's that simple. Yeah, you're going to have some people who are going to rage about you on Twitter, oh boo-hoo, and Kotaku might write a mean article about you because that's what Kotaku does. But at the end of the day, if you release a finished product, it's a lot better for everybody involved. You get praised as doing an amazing job producing a masterpiece. And, those who were upset that they had to wait 6 more months, well, they're satisfied because they finally got the damn thing anyway.
And what gets me is like, I 100% agree. Push it back, delay it. I know, and by the way, I've come to find out that what I have as far as my Steam library is on the low side, which shocks me because I thought I was overbuying with 240 items. And that's not me trying to flex, but like I was like, man, I got way too many games.
Yeah, that's way more than me.
Well, some of those are software too, because I try to dabble in development, and then cried in a corner.
Right in the corner.
And by the way, that's me saying that. Have I developed a game? No. Do I know how to? Yes, but it's hard. It's time consuming. That's to give respect to those who have developed games. And legitimately, it is time consuming. I understand that. Do I see COVID as an excuse? 0%. I don't think that if you work in an office, if you work in anywhere that's not, if you work anywhere there's an office building, at a desk, pretty much indoors, away that you can be away from people in an office. You don't have COVID's not an excuse. I my job, I have to go in no matter what. I'm an essential worker, my day job, and yeah, they during the height of this, no matter what, they were like, it could be the end of the world, the apocalypse. My job would be like, so you're coming in, right? I know Zio, your job's the same way. And legitimately, it's office workers do not have this as an excuse. I'm sorry. There's no way that any sort of office work that you can do remotely, you can use COVID as an excuse because your job is just as productive, probably more productive, actually. I think there's actually some reports that a lot of office work has become more productive from home than it has at the office because people have had more time to basically kind of decompress after work, but that's off topic. So, I mean, really, what's their excuse? Oh, because COVID? Well, how's that affect you? You're still logging into the computer. What's it matter if it's at home or at work? You don't have to deal with traffic. Smile.
Well, I mean, I could handle the COVID excuse at the beginning, right? Especially when people had to then get acclimated. There was a dog in my lap.
Okay, I agree with that.
But
yeah.
now that we are acclimated to it, right? Everybody's acclimated to the work at home, except for me, because I have to still go out there and brave the wilds every
Same.
damn day, dealing with truck drivers from all over the freaking country. Because it's no secret that's what I do, right? I'm around people from all over the damn country, and somehow have staved it off so far. Knock on wood. Anyway, dog, that was me. Sorry. Puppy bloopers. Anyway, it was me, honey. It was me.
Everybody loves the doggo.
Anyway, I get at the beginning of the whole pandemic and all that stuff, everybody's been acclimated. Now I still can handle that as somewhat of a thing as to why it would be the left, right? Because Bella, honey, it was me. Yeah, shush. Anyway, yeah, this is going to be this interesting long cut of all sorts of things. Anyway, but yeah, when you factor in things like internet connections and all this other stuff, and the fact that you can't just, walk over to somebody, if maybe that's what you were used to or whatnot, could slow down work, right? But if you do have something where you've been at a desk, you don't really have to physically talk to anybody that often or whatnot. And each game development company handles things way differently, right? You've got the free and open offices that some companies use. You have the cubicle style. You have we're hiding all our best people in the basement and they're chained to the walls kind of people. And then you have the companies that like to apparently, touch people inappropriately and such, and do some kind of beer crawl in the cubicles for whatever reason. But, aside from all that, everybody does it a little different. I can understand with it slowing down the process, right?
Still don't know what that is.
It was, I can't remember the company, but apparently it's been linked to a company under Activision and wasn't Blizzard, but it was listed in the papers that specifically was talking about Activision and Activision Blizzard. The cube crawls, but it was traced to one of the Call of Duty studios under Activision.
Treyarch?
Might have been. I don't remember quite.
But
frankly.
what is that? I've never heard what that is. I've never even
a cube crawl. It's like a pub crawl, but in the cubicles of the office. Whether or not they're actually doing it, I don't know. It's allegations.
So they put like alcoholic beverages in several cubicles and like go around
and would go around and get smashed while at work. That's the allegation. Yeah.
Where do I sign up for that?
That's how you get a lawsuit.
No, that's how you get an awesome work environment.
Oh, but anyway, yeah. Where was I? Oh yeah, everybody does it different, so adjusting to it, I get that. And even after everybody's acclimated to it, maybe you slow down a little because, maybe your workflow was the open office that you could just spin around and say, hey, Jed, or hey, Terry, or hey, Kelly, do you have this asset that I need over there or something? And they throw you a thumb drive or whatnot, and you do your thing. And instead now you have to write them an email or IM them or, pick up your phone and say, hey, Kelly, that asset you were working on for the rifle? Yeah, can you send that to me? Or can you tell me which folder it would be in the thing? And then you got to go do that. So I get that. I really do. I'm not going to fault them for that. But to use that as the excuse to release a game before it's ready,
yeah,
that is where I take umbrage with it and say, no, fucking delay the damn thing. Screw everything else. Fucking delay it. Tell your investors to sit down, shut up. I mean, technically, I don't think they can. There's a list of legal things and stuff. You really should learn to really write this stuff way different, to where you don't have them breathing down your neck and say it's got to be out by a certain date kind of deal, because at one point in time when games came out when they were ready, they were a lot better. There's a reason why they said that the Blizzard quality used to be a thing back in the day. It was ready soonish. It was coming soon. Soon 3 years from now, but soon nonetheless, because they wouldn't put an actual date on the thing because it had a quality to it. And, you know, older games had that. You know,
Well,
they
why
don't
do you think
have that
people,
now.
why do you think people are going back to retro games? Why? Blizzard quality, Nintendo seal of approval. Do you think that was really a thing? No, but it had quality. It had the Nintendo seal of quality approval. That was the thing. Like games, I don't care what people say. Games were better back in the day. I don't care if that's like a boomer thing to say, but back in my day, yes.
And back in my day, when we bought a game, we got the whole package. Oh, we
Yeah.
also got cheat codes. You know, there was this one code from Konami that could get you through just about anything, and you could use it on any Konami game. It was an amazing thing.
You know how you get a cheat code today?
Nowadays, you take your credit card and you slide it and you get the thing.
Yep.
Back in my day, it was free.
It was a 12. You enter a 12-digit code on a card.
Yeah, these days cheat codes are bought and paid for by you. Or you use a PC and you hack the shit out of it because PC Master Race. Sorry, consoles, you'll never live up to it.
The Xbox is getting
I
close.
love consoles, don't worry. They have their things, but you'll never live up to the PC side. It doesn't matter how good you get your graphics. You will never, ever be able to live up to what PC's capable of doing for your game. Anyway. Skyrim is a great example, by the way, of all that. If anyone ever wants to question it, look at Skyrim. Skyrim on the PC, modded forever. Recently, consoles got mods through the Bethesda, what is it called?
Yeah.
The Bethesda whatever, and they'll sell them to you.
Yeah. Which, by the
You know,
way,
there's an array of free ones you can get, of course, but they're also more than happy to sell you those mods as well. Some of the more other ones.
You do realize they had to rewrite their TOS because if they sold them without rewriting that, they would be in legal trouble.
Well, I think a lot of it is, if I remember correctly, it's usually there's a deal with the modder. If they do
is
the
that
sell.
how they? Okay. I was about to say, because if they
also
were...
a lot of them are in-house mods by the developers, so they're kind of like DLC, but being classified as a mod instead.
Okay.
Because I did notice that I can't remember which one it was. It was either Fallout 4 that I actually kind of realized that was what was going on. Because you still had the access to, free stuff where people put it up on the thing. You can, download that, or you could go to the premium side of things. And they were, Bethesda developer so-and-so created this whole pack of this, that, and the other, and all this other stuff.
There was a game, I thought it might have been Skyrim that got busted for that, but there was a game that actually did do that, where they were trying to sell player-made mods.
It was Bethesda, I think. Bethesda came up their premium thing, right? That I mentioned that I can't remember the name of. That was their original idea, I believe, for all the mods. They were going to sell them, and they were supposed to make this deal with all the creators and stuff. And then the modding community was like, "Fuck you, no."
Yeah.
You're going to crash everything by doing that. And then you also had other modders who were like, "Oh yeah, fantastic idea." Because I get it, modders do this for fun. They do it for the love of the game, but at the same time, they're getting like nothing for it. Which is why, if you go to Nexus Mods or something, there's usually a Patreon or something linked to the mod so you can go and help that developer survive. Strongly encourage that, by the way, if you can. You know, do that sort of thing, especially if there's a mod that you absolutely love out there. But anyway, we're
Or a content
so
creator
far
like
off.
Theo.
We're so far off base at this point. We're now talking about mods, and we were supposed to be harping about, you know, selling a $60 unfinished fucking game.
Well, don't worry. The mod community will come in and save it, won't they, 343? Because you can't make a fucking FPS anymore, apparently.
Probably. I don't know what the state of Halo modding is. I know they exist, but I don't know the state of it. Now, if this was a Bethesda title, yeah, that would be guaranteed. Bethesda can launch Elder Scrolls 6 in the most unfinished state possible, and within days, the modding community is going to have an unofficial patch that fixes everything. They're going to have this, an unofficial that, and they're just going to just fix it all, which, by the way, yeah, I understand. I love the games too, and I love the work you do. Let Bethesda fix their problems, though. Stop fixing it for them.
No, they're just going to release
At least
Elder
give it
Scrolls
some
5
time.
again.
At least give it some time before you actually fix it for them. Give them the chance to fix it.
But back to like Halo, and again, actually, funny you mentioned that. There's this neat little tool that used to come with Halo called Forge that a lot of content creators would use to fix things in Halo and experiment. I guess that no longer applies because that's not important.
Isn't Forge that newfangled thing that they're going to release like 6 months after launch from Infinite?
Yeah, but you know what also comes after 6 months? That any any first year analytical student can tell you? That the drop off of sales and interest in any product ever.
Well, I don't know anything about that. I'm not an analytical person. I mean, I am, but I've got to like have data and graphs in front of me.
Basically, most video games, and I'm being kind of sarcastic when I say that, obviously, but most video games when they come out, they lose steam in the first actually in the first month they see a drop off, but then after the first 3 months they see another drop off, and then after 6 months they'll see another drop off.
Yeah,
that's
that
why
makes sense.
That's why a lot of games you now see going to this kind of drip content model to try and counteract that drop off.
Yeah, which is kind of killing WoW, minus the lawsuit stuff.
Yeah, well, the seasonal thing is a good idea to counteract that loss of interest, but the problem is when you butcher a game to feed it back into itself, kind of like a developer cannibalism. Most gamers are aware of that, and they're going to give you the biggest of middle fingers and go, I'm going to go play something else. Just like me, I'm going to go play something else. Hey, guess what? There's this game called Phantasy Star Online 2. They just came out with a new expansion. They're going to be adding more and more and more and more to that. And this stuff that's not cut out of the game.
Yeah, you know what? Talk about that because I have bones to pick with that Star Online 2.
Yeah, I got. I'll be honest. I got bones to pick.
Different video.
Anyway, we record that next.
So the moral of the story: stop buying broken products, people. It's up to you. No, wait. Here we go. Only you can prevent the release of a broken, unfinished game by not buying it. Seriously, this is where we're going to go ahead and end this. This has been a good 45-minute long video, and I have to get some sleep because I still have to work super early in the morning, and it's already almost 10 o'clock, and I have to be up in like 5 hours. So, with that, I am Zio.
And I'm Chad.
We will see you in the next one.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.